wanted to start off by showing you a regular seam in a half double crochet stitch pattern when you're working in the continuous rounds. As you can see, it's very noticeable and it's at a slant, and I really didn't like it. I loved the front, but I did not like the side slant. And here I used an invisible slip stitch, which makes it a little bit more seamless, but you can really still see it and it's at a slant. And I really just didn't like it. So I really played around with it and I came up with a new method. I don't know if it's been done before, but this is the first time I've ever tried it. And it's almost completely invisible. And I wanted to show you, if you turn it the other way, you can see that it is reversible. So on both sides of the seam, it's barely noticeable. And I wanted to show you how I did it today. So the project that I'm working on is half double crochet in the continuous rounds, and I prefer the wrong side of my stitches here for this project, but it doesn't matter since it's reversible. To begin this method, you're going to start without chaining any chains and make a single crochet into the very first stitch. So it's unusual in that we're starting a round of half doubles with a single crochet and without a beginning chain. Now we're going to half double crochet in each stitch around. So I'm not going to show you every single stitch. You're just going to make a half double crochet in each stitch around until you get to the end. You may have noticed that I have marked a stitch. It's actually the joining slip stitch of the previous round, and that's because I'm going to work my last stitch into it. It's going to make more sense here in a moment when I show you what to do next. So here we are, we're at the marker, and I'm just going to take that stitch marker out and I'm going to work into that joining slip stitch. And that is going to be the last stitch of my round. Now, since we started with that single crochet, I'm actually going to skip over it and slip stitch into the first half double crochet to begin the next round. And now I'm going to mark that slip stitch. Again, we're not chaining to begin our round. We're just going to go right into making a single crochet. And now we're going to make half doubles for the rest of the round. And when you get to that stitch marker, you're going to take it out and you're going to make your last half double crochet in that marked stitch. Now, here's our single crochet we began our round with. We're going to skip over it and slip stitch into our very first half double crochet stitch. Again, you're going to mark that joining slip stitch. And we're not chaining to begin this round. We're just going right into a single crochet. And now you're going to half double crochet in every stitch around. It's very, very simple. You should see the pattern forming here. You're essentially going to be making a single crochet at the beginning of every round, and then making half doubles all the way around, and then skipping over the single crochet and slip stitching into the first half double crochet. This single crochet stitch actually counts as like a sort of half of our stitch, and then when you slip stitch over it, that slip stitch actually creates the rest of that half double crochet. And that's why we work into that joining slip stitch every round. And doing this makes it virtually seamless. And I also wanted to point out that this seam is actually a vertical seam and it is reversible. So it's really awesome if you want to make bags or anything like that in half double crochet. So here I'm showing you that it is a vertical seam. It just goes straight up and down and you can barely tell where it is, instead of the slanted seam that you normally get whenever you do the regular methods. So I really, really love this new technique. I wanted to show you, here's my finished project, and that is the seam right there. And It is on the side of the bag, which means you can't really see it. And I wanted to show you one more time in comparison to a regular seam that's really slanted and obvious, and I really did not like it. And then here's that invisible slip stitch that I used to make that seam, and again you can see it, it's slanted, and I did not care for it. So this really just makes a more professional finish and a more professional project, and I can't wait to use it on more projects. I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial today. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching.